A young girl stands on stage in front of millions. She's 16 years old. The world is screaming her name. She has everything a teenager could dream of: fame, money, success. But here's what nobody sees. She doesn't own her own life. For the next 25 years, she'll be controlled, monitored, exploited. Not by strangers, by the people who are supposed to protect her. Her name is Britney Spears. And this isn't a story about fame. It's a story about a cage with gold bars. The small-town dreamer, Kentwood, Louisiana, 1981. A tiny town with 2,000 people, one stoplight. Nothing happens here. Britney Jean Spears was born into a working-class family. Her dad worked construction. Her mum was a teacher. They didn't have much. But Britney had something special from the moment she could walk. Talent. She could sing before she could read. Dance before she went to school. At 2 years old, she was performing at church and local events. Her mother, Lynn, saw it immediately. This wasn't just a cute kid performing, this was a star. By age 8, Britney auditioned for the Mickey Mouse Club. She didn't get it. Too young, but Disney said, "She's incredible. Send her to New York for training." So at 8 years old, Britney left Louisiana. Left her home, left normal childhood behind. She trained at an off-Broadway dance center for 3 years. Ballet, jazz, voice, acting. While other kids played with toys, Britney practiced 8 hours a day. At 11, she finally got on the Mickey Mouse Club. Alongside Justin Timberlake, Christina Aguilera, Ryan Gosling. She was living the dream. Or at least that's what everyone told her. But here's what nobody asks. Did she choose this, or was it chosen for her? The Explosion, 1998. Britney was 16 years old. Her debut single dropped and the world exploded. Within weeks, she was the biggest pop star on the planet. The album sold 30 million copies, magazine covers, sold-out tours, screaming fans everywhere. She was working 18-hour days, recording, dancing, performing, interviews, photo shoots. At 17, she was more famous than most people will ever be in their entire lives. But here's what fame at that age really means. You don't get to grow up in private. Every mistake is public. Every relationship is analyzed. Every outfit is criticized. And the media, they were obsessed with her, but not in a healthy way. They counted down to her 18th birthday like predators. They sexualized a teenager. They asked invasive questions about her body, her virginity, her relationships. Britney smiled through it all, said the right things, performed perfectly, because that's what she'd been trained to do since she was 8 years old. Perform. But nobody was asking, what does Britney want? What does she need? Nobody cared, because Britney wasn't a person anymore. She was a product, a money-making machine, generating billions for everyone around her. The breaking point. 2004 to 2007. Everything collapsed. Married, divorced, married again. 2 babies in 2 years, divorced again. The tabloids were vicious, following her everywhere, publishing lies, invading every moment. Britney was drowning, suffering from postpartum depression, exhausted, overwhelmed, and in 2007, the world watched her break. She shaved her head. The media called her crazy. They made jokes, created memes. But here's what was really happening. Britney was screaming for help. She was trying to take control of the one thing she could control, her own body, her own image. For 25 years, people had told her how to look, what to wear, how to dance, what to sing. Shaving her head was the first choice she'd made for herself in years. But instead of help, she got more exploitation, more cameras, more judgment. And then came the moment that would trap her for 13 years. The Cage, 2008. Britney was placed under a conservatorship controlled by her father, Jamie Spears. The legal system said she couldn't make her own decisions, couldn't control her money, couldn't even choose her own lawyer. At first, people thought, maybe she needs help. Maybe this is protection. But then something strange happened. Britney kept working. If she was too mentally ill to control her own life, how was she well enough to record albums? To perform at the highest level? To headline Las Vegas residencies making millions? For 13 years, Britney performed like a machine, generated hundreds of millions of dollars. But she couldn't spend $50 without permission. She couldn't choose her friends, her boyfriend, her phone, her food. She was forced to take medication she didn't want, forced to work when she was exhausted, forced to perform when she begged to stop. She wasn't just controlled, she was imprisoned. And the worst part, it was all legal. Signed by judges, approved by courts. Britney Spears, one of the most famous women in the world, had fewer rights than a prisoner. Free Britney, 2019. Something shifted. Fans noticed inconsistencies, strange social media posts, Britney looking distressed. A movement started, Free Britney. At first, people dismissed it. Conspiracy theories. She's fine. But the fans kept digging. Court documents, legal filings, testimonies. They uncovered a system of control that was horrifying. In 2021, Britney finally spoke in court. Her testimony was devastating. She talked about being forced to work against her will, being forced to have an IUD so she couldn't have more children, being medicated into compliance. She said, "I just want my life back." The world listened, finally. November 2021. After 13 years, the conservatorship ended. Britney was free. But here's the heartbreaking reality. She lost 13 years, her 30s. Time she can never get back. The lesson. So what do we learn from Britney Spears? This isn't a story about fame going wrong. It's a story about control, about what happens when we treat human beings like products, when we value profit over people, when we exploit talent without protecting the person behind it. Britney was 8 years old when the machine started. She never had a chance to choose a normal life, and when she broke under the pressure, instead of compassion, she got more exploitation. The conservatorship was supposed to protect her. Instead, it trapped her. Here's the devastating truth. Britney's story isn't unique, it's just the most visible. How many child stars have we watched break? How many talented people have we consumed and discarded? We celebrate their art, we mock their pain. Britney's story teaches us about empathy, about seeing the human behind the celebrity. She wasn't a train wreck, she was a woman who'd been performing since childhood, who never got to make her own choices, who broke under impossible pressure, and when she broke, we should have helped. Instead, we watched, judged, clicked on tabloid articles. We were complicit. Today, Britney is free. She's healing, learning who she is outside the cage. She's sharing her story, not for sympathy, but so others understand what happened. The conservatorship is over, but the damage remains. You can't give someone back 13 years. You can't undo childhood stolen by fame. You can't erase the trauma of being controlled by the people who should have protected you, but you can learn, you can do better. The next time you see someone struggling publicly, remember Britney. Remember that behind every meme, every tabloid headline, every viral moment, there's a human being. And maybe, just maybe, instead of clicking and judging, we should ask, what does this person need and how can we help? Britney grew up in a cage with gold bars. She's free now, but freedom doesn't erase the scars of captivity. Beyond impossible. Stories of those who lived beyond reason.